Hello and welcome to a brand new Underrated Footballers 11, especially for the 2018-19 season. Not every shout we make is going to age well, but last year we included Mo Salah before his switch to Liverpool and Celta Vigo's Iago Aspas, who went on to score 22 in the league. Now let's jump right in. Goalkeeper Thomas Strakosha. With Chelsea, Napoli, Arsenal, Real Madrid and Liverpool all bringing in goalkeepers in 2018, it's remarkable that none of the European giants decided to move for Thomas Strakosha. He may not have the name recognition of an Alisson or Thibaut Courtois, but don't let the lack of press fool you. The 23-year-old has been quietly brilliant for 2 seasons now. A 6'4" Greek-born Albanian, Strakosha ranked 14th in Europe for saving shots from the danger zone last season. That's inside the box along the width of the 6-yard area. This is a place where you'd favour a striker to score, but Strakosha stopped an incredible 66% of these shots, the same as David De Gea. He also ranked among the top passing goalkeepers, hitting 8 accurate long balls a game and overall maintaining a pass accuracy of 71%. Very impressive for a guy who goes long 57% of the time. High balls into the box were no problem either, with the youngster catching rather than punching 90% of them, and at nearly a decade younger than Manuel Neuer, Strakosha has plenty of time to gain the reputation to match his excellent performances. With the price ballparked at €30 million, he's unlikely to spend much longer in the Europa League. Defender Mehdi Benatia. Amazingly, Mehdi Benatia hasn't made more than 21 league appearances in a single season since he left Roma back in 2014. In that time, the Moroccan has won 4 titles, including 3 league and cup doubles, and shown his quality whenever he's played, but still has struggled for a starting berth at Bayern Munich or Juventus, who were actively shopping the defender during the 2018 transfer window. An aerially dominant defender, Benatia wins 64% of headers he contests, a full 4% more than Marouane Fellaini, and is excellent at reading the game, with only Miralem Pjanic bettering his 2.2 interceptions per 90 among the Juventus squad. In the absence of Leonardo Bonucci, the French-born centre-back has stepped up his passing too, spraying a huge 80% of his passes forward and maintaining a 90% accuracy. Now 31, Benatia is sure to pick up plenty of medals staying in Turin, but on current form, he has plenty left to give, and we hope he gets a chance to show his quality once again before age chips away at his ability. Defender Marc Bartra. Marc Bartra only joined Dortmund in 2016, but after 18 months, the German giants allowed the defender to return to his homeland, with Bartra keen for a new start after his harrowing experience in 2017's terrorist attack on the BVB team bus. The club sold for just €10.5 million, with Bartra joining Quique Setien's exciting project at Real Betis. Betis had lost 10 of their 21 league games before Bartra arrived and was sitting in 13th, but with the Catalan they lost just 3 times in their remaining 17 and ended up 6th, earning Europa League football. Having conceded 2.1 goals per game without Bartra, Setien used the 27-year-old's unique abilities to switch to a 5-at-the-back system, and Betis only allowed 1 goal per game for the rest of the campaign. The formation meant Bartra's tackles and interceptions dropped from 6.2 per 90 in Germany to 4.3, but took advantage of his passing and movement, as he completed 1.4 dribbles a game on his return to La Liga, the most by a central defender in Europe's top 5 leagues last year. And no Betis player gets on the ball more than him, with the former Barca man making 68 passes per game. That would rank him 5th in the Barcelona squad, ahead of Umtiti, Piqué and Messi, a remarkable return to form for a man who considered quitting the game altogether just a year earlier. Defender Naldo. Standing at 6'6", Naldo is a true defensive giant. The Brazilian centre-back turned 35 in 2017, but still played every minute of the Bundesliga season for Schalke, making him one of just 10 men and only 4 outfielders to do so in 2017-18. Despite a 13-year career in the Bundesliga, Naldo has just 4 caps for his country, though fortunately for him, they came between 2007 and 2009, meaning he was part of the Los Seleção squad to win the Copa America. However, he's always been a strong defender, winning the ball 3 times a game, and unsurprisingly comes out on top in a staggering 77% of his aerial duels, a full 5% more than Liverpool's Virgil van Dijk. But he's also a threat at the other end of the field, racking up 7 goals and 2 assists last year and ending the campaign as Schalke's 2nd highest goalscorer, with the same number of strikes as James Rodriguez. And with 4 yellow cards in 34 appearances, Naldo's experience has been invaluable in shaping young defenders like the promising Thilo Carrère, who is now at PSG. In the twilight of his career, Ronaldo Aparecido Rodriguez is bringing about a new dawn for the Königsblauen. Midfielder Yves Bissouma. At 21, Yves Bissouma has already earned a move to the Premier League. The Brighton midfielder, who can also deputise at right-back, has just 2 full seasons under his belt, but has already impressed on English soil after establishing himself as one of Ligue 1's best destroyers with Lille. Though born in the Ivory Coast, Bissouma plays for Mali, and with RB Salzburg's Amadou Haidara also in their midfield, the Eagles have the core of a solid side. Bissouma made 3.9 tackles a game last season and another 1.8 interceptions, winning possession a total of 5.7 times per 90. More often than N'Golo Kante on 4.9. But despite his aggressive defensive style, Bissouma picked up just 3 yellow cards in his 24 league appearances, and his talents are not limited to winning possession alone. Bissouma is capable of driving his team upfield too, with his 3.2 dribbles completed a game, the same as Leroy Sané, and other mobile CMs like Mateo Kovacic and Moussa Dembele. When a player carries the ball that much, you'd expect them to surrender it often, but Bissouma only lost possession 18 times in 24 games. Add to all this an 85% pass accuracy, and you have an intelligent, athletic young midfielder who seems unlikely to be a seagull for long. Midfielder Daniel Vass. Daniel Vass has a good claim to being the most versatile player in world football. In 2017-18, he played as a central midfielder, on the wing as a right-back and in attacking midfield for Celta Vigo, missing just 3 matches of their league campaign and subsequently switching to Valencia for only €6 million. That's not a reflection on his quality, but due to his contract running down, and Vass chose to move to the East Coast over more lucrative transfers to Roma, Everton or Leicester City, who all registered their interest in the 29-year-old. Despite being shifted around the park last season, he picked up 4 goals and 9 assists in domestic play, and among Celta players, only Iago Aspas laid on more scoring opportunities for his teammates than Vass's 1.7 per 90. Sadly, the midfielder's excellent form couldn't buy him a spot in Denmark's World Cup squad, even though 8 of the footballers selected by coach Arga Herrera played outside Europe's top 5 leagues. Perhaps finally getting a switch to a bigger club could bring Vass recognition at last. Midfielder Yves Banega. It was a shock when Yves Banega started the World Cup on the bench in favour of Enzo Perez and Javier Mascherano. The Sevilla man is now 30 and was coming off an excellent 12 months in which only 2 of his teammates played more minutes than him, as he picked up 3 goals and 3 assists from deep midfield. Banega reportedly earns just £70,000 a week, but has the output of a superstar. The Argentinian leads his club in dribbles and chances created, with 3 of the former and 2.5 of the latter per game. That puts him level with Naby Keita when it comes to ball playing and Lionel Messi for key passes, and he can pull his weight defensively too, contributing 3 tackles and interceptions a match, all while maintaining a brilliant 87% pass accuracy. Even Banega's bad years are excellent, with his move to Inter Milan in 2016-17 considered a flop by many, despite the midfielder scoring 6 and assisting 6 in just 1,500 minutes for the Nerazzurri. Give a manager 11 flops like that, and you could just find yourself winning a trophy. Midfielder Luis Alberto. Only Kevin De Bruyne and Leroy Sané produced more league assists than Lazio's Luis Alberto last season, with the Spaniard registering 14 as the Achille finished the campaign as Serie A's top scorers, netting an average of 2.3 goals a game. Alberto, who spent 3 years with Liverpool between 2013 and 2016, making only 12 appearances, is still just 25, and he scored 11 league goals of his own for Simone Inzaghi's side, meaning he helped his club get on the scoresheet every 107 minutes. That's better than Romelu Lukaku, Gonzalo Higuain or Roberto Firmino, and as a consequence of Alberto's amazing eye for a killer pass, with only 7 players across Europe's top 5 leagues laying on more chances than the midfielder in 2017-18. Perhaps instead of spending €100 million on Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, giant clubs needing creativity from midfield would be better off spending half that amount on his teammate, who is now clearly among the continent's elite. Forward Lukas Perez. A €20 million signing for Arsenal in 2017, Lukas Perez was loaned out after a single season at the club and was sold on to West Ham in the summer of 2018 after a difficult campaign in which his beloved Deportivo La Coruña succumbed to the drop despite bringing in Clarence Seedorf as manager. Perez himself had a great season though, getting 8 goals and 6 assists in La Liga, and he could have had more. According to expected goals, he would have been predicted to score 9 and assist 10 based on the locations of his shots and the quality of the chances he created. In fact, the only player in Spain to create more goal-scoring opportunities than Perez last season was Lionel Messi. And unlike the Argentinian, Perez managed it at Depor, who ended the year in 18th and scored just 38 goals in 38 games. With Giroud, Sanchez and Walcott gone, and Danny Welbeck hamstrung by injury issues, it's surprising that the Gunners couldn't find a place for the 29-year-old Perez. But with Manuel Pellegrini building the most exciting and attacking West Ham side in recent years, perhaps the Spaniard can find success in another part of London. Forward Alejandro Gomez. Atalanta captain Papu Gomez is a player any top club could find useful, but the Argentinian is instead heading into a 5th year with the Bergamo outfit, having previously turned out for Ukraine's Metalist Kharkiv and Italian Minos Catania. A versatile forward who can play as a striker, winger or attacking midfielder, the 30-year-old finished last season with 6 goals and 10 assists, bringing him to 56 goal involvements in 104 appearances over the last 3 campaigns. That's better than Eden Hazard's 44 in the same period. That makes Gomez responsible for 35% of Atalanta's goals since 2015, and he excels in every attacking skill. Last term, he ranked 8th in Europe for chances created, averaging 3 per 90 minutes, and he was also 8th for completed dribbles, with 3.4 a game, roughly the same as Kylian Mbappe put up in a softer league. Sadly, Argentina's depth in the attacking positions meant that Gomez had to wait until 2017, when he was 29, to receive the only 4 international caps of his career, and it's unlikely that he'll ever receive the big move his performances deserve. Make sure you enjoy him while you can. Forward, Marc Uth. Formerly of Hoffenheim, attacker Marc Uth joined Schalke in the summer of 2018 on a free transfer, after the most productive season of his career. The German, who came through Köln's academy, scored 14 goals and tallied 8 assists in Bundesliga play last year, getting involved in a goal every 99 minutes as Hoffenheim finished 3rd, the best result in their history. Only Lewandowski and Freiburg's Nils Pettersson finished the year with more league strikes than Uth, which is all the more impressive given that the 26-year-old didn't even take penalties for his club, or spend the whole campaign up front. As is common in the Bully, he learned to play multiple roles, spending time on the flank and at wing-back, but still managed 2.3 shots a game and created 1.2 chances, making him responsible for a quarter of Hoffenheim's goals. Uth also demonstrated better decision-making than his teammates, with just 27% of his shots coming from outside the box, compared to 38% for Hoffenheim as a whole. And after losing Sandro Wagner in January and seeing Serge Gnabry return to Munich from his loan, Nagelsmann will have his work cut out rebuilding this attack. So that was our 11 of the most underrated footballers this season, but what do you reckon? Did we miss anyone out? Let us know in the comments below. Now, if you've enjoyed this, why not go and check out all our other great content on FD and EFD, and why not like and subscribe? See you next time.